Okay, sorry, this is really bugging me. Do you mind if, for today, we rename the gaming news to Jaming News? Since I'm hosting Gameling today, my name is James. I just feel like it'd be simpler. The next generation Xbox console is codenamed Project Helix, and it will play your Xbox and PC games, according to a tweet from newly crowned CEO of Microsoft Gaming, Asha Sharma. Suddenly fired off at 11:50 a.m. when some of us were trying to sleep.
I was gaming.
5 minutes later, the official Xbox account also tweeted, not to provide any further information, just to show off a slick little logo animation for the Project Helix logo they probably had an intern make in 5 minutes. Xbox is back, baby! Now, the idea of PC games being playable on a device you could argue is an Xbox has been floated for some time, including by former Xbox head Phil Spencer, rest in peace, who told Polygon back in 2024 that he wants third-party game stores like the Epic Game Store or itch.io to come to Xbox. And the Xbox PC lines have already been blurred for some time thanks to Xbox Play Anywhere titles, cloud gaming with Game Pass, and Xbox branded handheld Windows PCs, you've heard of them. But the ROG Xbox allies are actually unable to play Xbox games that aren't also PC games. It's so confusing. We should just call this Jaming News. This is why we need Microsoft to launch this new Xbox console, possibly as early as next year if this comment from AMD CEO Lisa Su is accurate, so we can have an Xbox that is definitely an Xbox that is also just a normal PC. The Xbox to end all Xboxes.
There's so many Xboxes, there won't be any anymore.
That's what X means. It could be anything. Sony, meanwhile, is heading the opposite direction and pulling back from releasing PlayStation games on PC in a complete 180 from its 2025 target to release half its games on PC and mobile. Look, they know PC players were hoping for more, but sometimes things take a weird turn, e.g. The Last of Us 2. According to Bloomberg, multiplayer games published by Sony, like Marathon and Marvel Tokon, will still launch across multiple platforms, but single-player titles like Ghosts of Yotei and the upcoming Seros will remain exclusive to PlayStation 5. The most obvious reason for the shift is that PC ports just haven't been netting significant revenue for PlayStation, with ports generally not arriving on Steam until at least a year after the console launch. Admittedly, that could have been because Sony was inconsistent about which titles were released on PC, when they would release, and whether or not you'd need a PlayStation account to play them. But the real reason could be related to the next-gen Xbox being able to run PC games, and the idea of having PlayStation games sneaking onto an actual Xbox console maybe didn't sit well with Sony. Microsoft may have confused everyone with their "this is an Xbox" campaign, but Sony don't play it like that. You made a little activity table for your kid and you want to call it his PlayStation? You cannot! It's actually better this way. If the lobbies for your game choice are empty this week, it may be because of 2 games that recently launched and stole all the players. Resident Evil Requiem broke the franchise's all-time concurrent player record on Steam this past weekend, peaking at about 334,000 players. And that's not even counting the physical copies that sold out across major US retailers, with total sales already hitting the 5 million mark. The game's horror elements are working as intended too. Spider enemies are reportedly so disturbing that arachnophobic players are genuinely having nightmares, though modders have already replaced them with Thomas the Tank Engine, somehow making the game even more unsettling.
As is tradition.
British accents. Players also flooded into what is arguably also a horror game, Pokopia, the new Pokemon title that launched today as the best reviewed Pokemon game of all time. Man, we're eating good. Set in a post-apocalyptic world where disasters have driven humanity to flee the planet, you play as a Ditto that takes the form of its dead trainer and continues to pose as an unnervingly squishy little homunculus while caring for various Pokemon that survived the cataclysm. This is sick. That includes one Pikachu who donated so much electricity to his friends that he's now a pale little husk with a shriveled tail. Jeez, this is dark. You might want to play something a bit more cheerful, like our sponsor. War Thunder is the most comprehensive vehicle combat game ever made, and it's available now for free on PC, consoles, and mobile. Take command of over 2,500 tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships across 10 major nations, from the biplanes and armored cars of the 1920s to the fighter jets and main battle tanks of today. The vehicles are incredibly detailed, with realistic graphics and authentic sound effects that put you right in the action. And with every vehicle modeled down to its individual components, War Thunder has one of the most sophisticated damage models in gaming. Engines, fuel tanks, weapons, and crew are all susceptible to real damage, and when something gets destroyed, X-Ray View can show you exactly what took it out. War Thunder also launched an all-new mobile version on iOS and Android, so you can get the same massive multiplayer warfare with intuitive controls and impressive graphics wherever you go. Join over 95 million players in epic PvP battles. With an unmatched wealth of content, there's no better game for fans of military history. Play War Thunder for free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and mobile, and unlock a massive bonus pack including vehicles, boosters, and more using our link below. I know they've traditionally been called quick bits. I'm just saying that quick gems does kind of have a ring to it. Ubisoft has officially confirmed Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced, a remake of the beloved 2013 pirate game from before they ruined the franchise. No release date yet, but a teaser dropped with concept art and a cryptic message to keep your spyglass on the horizon. Also bundled in the announcement was a free 60 FPS patch for Assassin's Creed Unity on PS5 and Xbox Series X/S, a game that came out in 2014. But hey, if you've always wanted to steal baguettes and assassinate Francois Thomas Germain in 60 FPS, who are we to stop you?
Finally, it just wasn't the same.
Bungie's Marathon launched today. Yes, it's just another extraction shooter, but it's also the next big IP from the creator of two of the biggest original IPs in gaming history, Halo and Wizard Halo. It's had a rocky road of delays, beta tests, and open weekends, but the server slam last week still pulled nearly 150,000 concurrent players. Since then, reviews have been somewhat mixed, with IGN's Travis Northup saying he's completely hooked, while Forbes' Paul Tassi saying the genre in general feels like a big time waster. Well, maybe you shouldn't be reviewing extraction shooters, Paul.
This game isn't very good in the genre I don't like.
Sorry, I've just been waiting for this game for a while. Despite all of Bungie's work to get Marathon over the line, it's still struggling to keep up on Steam with Slay the Spire 2, the sequel to a beloved indie game that launched in early access at the exact same time. Honestly, the lore of the game is so sick, Marathon would have probably done better if they just made a single player campaign, or at least I would have bought it. You know what, Paul Tassi probably would have liked it too.
Yeah.
Wildlight Entertainment is shutting down Highguard permanently on March 12th, just 45 days after launch, despite reaching 2 million total players. The free-to-play shooter cratered from 97,000 concurrent players at launch to just under 500 by month's end, triggering mass layoffs in February. In an effort to share what remains of their hard work with the world, the developers have pushed to deliver one final content update before the lights go out for good, which players will get to enjoy for one whole week. At least it lasted longer than Concord. Square Enix has locked down a third server in Final Fantasy XI, the 24-year-old MMO that Final Fantasy XIV was supposed to replace due to overpopulation. The Odin server joins Azura and Bahamut in closing to new players on March 10th, as the player base keeps swelling, with people apparently done waiting for Final Fantasy XIV to get good again. This is like your gaming equivalent of when your grandfather had more stamina than you during your last year's family hike, leading to your girlfriend cheating on you with your own grandpa. I bet Square Enix still feels the pain of inadequacy burning deep inside. Who wrote this joke? And GameDate is a free website built by a YouTuber called Batty that lets you schedule multiplayer sessions for dead or underpopulated games. No account required. The steps to find friends are pretty simple. Post a session, pick a time, and then find people who care about the same obscure games as you. Easy as pie. It even has a retro-styled message board for communications. Finally, we have Tinder for gamers, except instead of getting lucky, you get to play a 50-year-old shooter with 3 other people at 2 a.m. and start every conversation with ASL? Progress. And you might just get lucky if you come back here next Thursday for more gaming news. Although, if you really want to go back to calling it gaming news, that's okay, I guess. Thanks for going along with it today, though. Made me feel special.